What if the most powerful friendships in the world weren't just between humans? What if the deepest connections formed in the most unexpected places, between beings who should never, under any circumstances, trust each other? Imagine looking into the eyes of a creature that could end your life in seconds, but instead, you see something different. Not aggression, not fear, but love. This is the true story of an unbreakable bond, a friendship that defied nature itself. This is the story of Mark Duma and Agee, the polar bear who didn't just love him, she saw him as family. Mark Duma wasn't looking for a best friend. He was looking for a polar bear. As a professional animal trainer working in the film industry, his job was simple: find the perfect animal for the next big Hollywood production. But when he arrived at a small zoo, he saw something that changed his life forever. A tiny, fragile cub, just 8 weeks old, separated from her mother. Agee wasn't like the other cubs. She wasn't growing up with the warmth of a mother's embrace or the guidance of her siblings. Her mother, already overwhelmed with 10 others, had no choice but to leave her behind. And in that moment, as Agee lay there, alone and vulnerable, something inside Mark shifted. He wasn't just an animal trainer anymore. He became something far more important, her protector. "I thought I was just taking her in for training," Mark later said. "I had no idea she'd become a part of me." From the very first day, it was clear this was no ordinary bond. Raising a polar bear isn't like raising a puppy. These are apex predators, built for survival in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. They grow to be over 1,000 pounds. They have the strength to shatter bones with a single swipe. And yet, against all odds, Agee never saw Mark as prey. She saw him as family. Mark didn't just train Agee. He nurtured her. He played with her, fed her, and even slept near her to comfort her. Their bond grew deeper, stronger, unbreakable. But not everyone believed it would last. Experts warned him. "One day," they said, "she'll turn on you. It's in her nature." Mark didn't listen. He saw something no one else did, a connection that went beyond instinct. And then something incredible happened. One day, as Mark sat beside her, Agee let out a sound, almost like a cat's purr, but deeper, more resonant. A sound no one had ever heard from a polar bear before. It was love. She wasn't just tolerating him. She wasn't just trained to obey him. She adored him. Mark's wife, Dawn, saw it too. "She doesn't look at him like an animal looks at a trainer," Dawn said. "She looks at him the way a daughter looks at a father." Word of their extraordinary friendship spread. News outlets, filmmakers, and animal lovers from around the world wanted to see it for themselves. How could a man and a polar bear share such an intimate bond? But for Mark and Agee, this wasn't a show. This wasn't an act. This was real. They swam together. They played together. They trusted each other completely. And yet, there was always that lingering question: could this last forever? Would instinct one day take over? Mark never feared her, not once, because deep down, he knew love had rewritten the rules of nature. One of the most remarkable moments in their story happened one afternoon when Mark stumbled on a slippery patch of ice. He fell hard. And Agee, standing over him, had a choice. She could have followed her primal instincts. She could have seen weakness. Instead, she did something no one expected. She lowered herself down, gently nuzzling him, waiting for him to get up, not as prey, not as a subordinate, but as a friend. This was something beyond science, beyond training. This was love. Mark and Agee's story is more than just a tale of an unusual friendship. It's a testament to what's possible when we look beyond fear and choose love. Their bond teaches us that connection isn't about species. It's about trust. It's about respect. It's about seeing past differences and recognizing something deeper. And maybe, just maybe, if a man and a polar bear can form a love this strong, then we as humans can learn to be a little kinder, a little more understanding, because at the end of the day, love is the most powerful force on Earth. If this story touched your heart, do one simple thing: share it. Because in a world filled with chaos and division, we need stories like this. Stories that remind us what's possible. Hit that like button if you believe in the power of love. Subscribe for more incredible stories like this. And if you ever doubt that kindness can change the world, just remember Mark and Agee, a man, a polar bear, and a friendship that changed everything.